Hello everyone, and welcome to Hunter Gatherer channel. It's July 15th and it's about 7:15. Sun's gonna be going down here in about an hour and a half, something like that. And I'm just trying to get into these bees because we're supposed to have rain for the next 5 days or so. So I want to get into them and just check and see what they've got going on. This here is the swarm that I got at Waylon's house. And I just wanted to check a lot of the boxes that are just single boxes and just see if they're full enough for another box. That's one thing that I'm going to be doing today. And we're slowing down on the nectar flow. And so I'm getting ready to start planning on pulling all of these honey supers here in the next week maybe. So I just want to check these boxes and see who needs another box. I don't want to get them overloaded, and like I said, it's supposed to rain for about 5 days, and it's been a tough season for me with these bees because it seems like right when I feel like everything's going pretty well, it rains for like 4 or 5 days. It takes me a while to get back into them, or it starts raining right when I was going to get into them, and so I've had some swarms that I wasn't expecting to have and things like that. So if anybody else is having a challenge, let me know down in the comments below. And before I get into the boxes, I just want to thank you guys that have been leaving comments once in a while. We appreciate it, and we love to reply to them. And we also want to thank everybody that's been subscribing. We're by the time I get this edited, we may be above 500. We've been slowly climbing 5 or 6 or 7 subscribers here or there kind of thing, and so we're just about to 500, and that's to the halfway point of what we were hoping to get to, that 1,000 subscriber mark to start. So anyway, if you haven't subscribed, it'd be awesome if you did, and if you have recently, thanks a lot. All right, on to the bees. You might be looking at this lid and thinking, that's looking pretty sad. It's getting a warp in it. And today I bought some flashing so I can hopefully repair that lid. Get it waterproofed anyways. I use these telescoping covers, but I've been looking at getting some migratory lids just because they're less expensive. I just don't know if I want to run them or not. I see some people are. I just never have, so I'm not sure. I can see some pretty good fresh drawn comb here on some of these hive, on some of these frames. And I gotta say, I'm thinking we're pretty close to needing a box. So we'll go through this one real quick. I've got another one over here that I think is pretty darn close too. You can see where they've drawn out right where I put that fresh wax on these. I had somebody tell me today on a Facebook post, you don't need to put that on there. But I'm telling you, you can see it's just where I put that wax. And they'll get to the rest of it, but that was where they really popped it out. And the same thing there. It definitely works. We got some pretty good bee numbers in here. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember when it was that we caught the swarm. It was right towards the end of June. This is all pollen, or nectar I mean. This is all nectar as well, and pollen. I don't think we have any bees emerging yet. I don't think it was that early in June. Well, but I see capped brood here. This is larvae. And they're just capping this, I believe. And that's a pretty cool frame right there. Lots of pollen. Got the honey, pollen, and capped brood. And they're starting. They've got larvae around it, and this is just eggs and larvae, and some they're doing a great job. Next frame is solid capped brood. I'm thinking probably the next two at least. Yeah, all capped. You can see, really doing a good job. They're starting to draw low off of these. So that would be a sign that, hey, they think they need a little bit more space. We don't want to disturb the main brood chamber here. That's solid capped brood also. But we do want to cause them to go up. And this is all larvae, solid. On this side too, they're just starting to cap a couple of them. I'm going to check this next frame and see the next two. What I'm looking for is larvae that I can take up to the next box and put it right dead center. I think it might be that other frame that I already pulled out, but I'm not 100% yet. It's a solid honey frame on the outside. Yeah, I'm saying it's time to put on another box. I'm trying to decide between the one that's here and this one here. I think I'm going to push this one up. Like I said, they're just starting to cap some on this side. And it's got some larvae of all stages in it. So I'm going to push these frames back to where they were. So I'm down to frames that haven't been drawn yet, but aren't really waxed. And I'm hoping that they'll do their job on it, but I'm out of wax to wax them, and I'm out of the frames that I've waxed. So just giving them the cleanest I can find out of the messy ones. All right, so here we go. They're just starting to cap it. And then it's got brood down in there, larvae. And this other side is just eggs. And like maybe 2 or 3 day old larvae in there here or there. Slide this right down in here. And that will cause them to come up. I need to make sure I get some sugar water back on them. So that'll just give them a little bit extra help building the wax. There we go. Should be golden. And I'm also planning on getting that aluminum flashing on the top here. Get them waterproofed a little bit better. Alright, that's that one. And I'm going to move over to this box over here. This one's looking pretty good too. From the top anyways. So we've got nothing on this one. Old frame with, that's a pretty old honey and pollen frame. Okay. We've got some larvae in here. Trying to figure out what's going on. This looks like a queen cell, but there's no queen in it. There's more larvae. I don't know what's going on with this hive yet. Yeah. The last box that I went into, it was kind of a mess. It was one of the ones that was part of when I had a laying worker, and so there's a bunch of drone in there from when I used the old box and those eggs hadn't died off or whatever. It was like 3 or 4 days later, and I used it with the swarm that I had caught, I think. Whatever it was, that was what those frames are. And so there's a bunch of drones in there, and the queen is trying to lay, but there's so much of a mess in those frames. So she's not doing a great job. She's trying to. I moved some stuff around just to try to get her some cleaner stuff in one area where she can really focus. What I might do is take one of these frames and move it in on both sides, maybe. I've heard some people say that the third slot from the outside is one of the best ones to get them to make comb. I don't know if that's true or not, but I have used that information and I've done it, and they seem to do it, so maybe it is true. This frame here is honey and pollen. They've got both sides drawn out, so I'm going to move that one to the outside. Capped brood on this one, and they're drawn on the bottom. This is all capped. Well, not all of it. Some of it's larvae and eggs. I said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to give them a second box since I know it's going to be raining here for a while, and they could fill it right up. We're going to keep looking across these frames, but just to see which one I want to pull up. This is going to be all capped, both sides, wax, burr comb on bottoms. Next one, all capped. So this hive is going to really start going crazy here in a little bit, which is awesome. Ooh. All capped. All capped. Little bit of on the outside here. That's like just larvae and whatnot. We're gonna clean these up again. And that's the area where she'll start to put drones or whatever when they decide they're going to swarm because they don't have enough room. We'll just clean that all off. Again, that's right where I hit that wax right in the center. And they haven't got to the outside yet, but they're working on it. Capped larvae and pollen. A lot of capped honey. Doing good. Doing good, girls. Okay, so I'm going to move this around a little bit. This is nectar. And this outside one is, they're just drawn out. And the one inside it, I think, is all honey. So all pollen and nectar. So we'll put that on the outside. Put this one next. And we're going to give them this one that they're starting to draw out. And slide these all over. That one's going up top. We didn't see her, but I know she's in there from what we gathered. The intel here. This one here. This one here. All right, there they go. We'll have to get some honey on, or sugar water on them, and help them build that out. That's going to be it for the video tonight. I'm going to get into a couple more boxes just to see how they are on their honey supers, and if they're full or not, and if I need to add anything more. And I think we did a good job in giving these girls and the ones over some more space, bringing that larvae up that'll cause those bees to come up and work that. They need to stay on there to feed them and to work on them, and so that will cause the queen to come on up too. We've got all kept her brood chamber, the main portion there intact. We did move some stuff on the outside a little bit, but she'll be happy with that, and this other frame is right above her, so that's going to get her to come on up. Once again, I just want to thank you for watching, and we'd love it if you'd come and subscribe and come watch us, see how we do, see how the honey extraction works out this summer. A lot of the next couple of videos will be some of that. We just dug up some garlic, so we're going to have some video on that, and just a few other things. So I want to let you know we love you, God loves you, and we'll see you on the next one. And happy beekeeping, and hopefully your bees are building up too. All right, see you guys.